So Rhythms and Rhymes is a research project that's trying to understand how people use energy in their homes and how this connects to, or in some ways impacts, their health. And specifically, we're looking at how healthcare practitioners perceive the home and energy use in the home, and how this might in the future inform their clinical practice, diagnostics and management of, what can be chronic health conditions that people end up having. I think what's been interesting in trying to understand what had been done in this field, so specifically understanding if anyone had researched healthcare practitioners' views, was the way that the home is seen in that context. So in that health literature, the home is mainly seen as a setting of medical activity. So administering medicine, getting to the medicine, taking the medicine, which is quite different to a lot of the architectural literature, and that's the methods we're drawing on, where the home is a much more sensory environment. So that's, I think, what was slightly unexpected for me, that in that literature in health and in energy to some extent, the home isn't seen as a place of everyday life. And I think that's what we're trying to hopefully get to when we get a bit more data, because we haven't actually collected data on what healthcare practitioners actually imagine, because we don't have this information, certainly in any published documents or literature or academic research. The key change I'd like to see, which will probably take some time beyond this project, would be that we change how we diagnose and manage chronic health conditions that are exacerbated by thermal injustices and ways that we use energy in the home and elsewhere. I'm really interested in studying how people perceive space, and so far a lot of that research is based on talking to architects. And in this instance, I'm really interested in how healthcare practitioners think about space. And the literature so far talks about it as a medical setting. Ideally, I'd love to make that, draw that, make a film about it. Electrification and decarbonisation are kind of big agendas in the UK and in Europe, but elsewhere as well. As part of that, we're needing to understand patterns of energy use much more and how those may need to be synchronised in the future. I'm not only interested in time of use, as in what we use and how we use it, but the spaces within which we use it. And that's the bit we have very little knowledge of. And Rhythms and Rhymes talks a little bit about that, the kind of sequencing and rhythms of our everyday life. Energy per se is not what I'm interested in, but the activities through which we power our lives. And we all have perceptions of what that might mean, but we don't have enough research or knowledge on what those perceptions are characterised by. So that's the bit I'm interested in. And we certainly know very little of what those who are working in the healthcare sector think. And that's, I think, that might even change how we design hospitals or hospital settings.